And I want to go right now to Alveda King. Of course, you know Alveda very, very well, not only as a Fox contributor, but she is Martin Luther King's niece. Her dad was A.D. King, the younger brother of Martin Luther King. So it's in her blood. Alveda, always good seeing you. I guess you greet this day with mixed emotions, you know, experiencing what we all saw happen to Martin Luther King, what is still considered a mysterious death of your own father in a drowning. I'm just wondering how you take all of this in.
Well, Neil, it is an emotional time for me always. And I want to ask everyone who's ever lost loved ones to be comforted. And, you know, even with COVID recently, we've all had a lot of losses. So when I hear my uncle, Martin Luther King Jr.'s voice, my daddy, Reverend A.D. King, my granddaddy, Reverend Martin Luther King Sr., and my grandmother, Alveda King, when I hear their voices, it's very emotional. Granddaddy was the only one who lived the fullness of his life, and he died of natural causes. The other three were actually killed. So I do remember that every holiday, but I'm still able to celebrate. In fact, Neil, I re-released my song, Let Freedom Ring, celebrate and shout, let freedom ring. And thank God that King, that's Uncle Emil, had a dream.
So, Alveda, I've asked you this before, but if your dad were to come back, if your uncle were to come back and see the world as it is today, would they mark any progress, or would they be angry? How do you think they'd react?
If they would be angry, they would not sin with that anger. However, they would encourage us, and they would remind us, every generation, you have to tell the truth. Every decade right now, every day with social media, tell the truth. So they would still be saying the same things. Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous quote, "We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters and not perish together as fools." He even said he had a dream there would be no black power, no white power, only God power and human power. So he accepted that we were one blood and one race. We are. So this racism lie on skin color needs to stop. I pray it stops in this generation.
You know, even within your family, and I've kidded with you before on this, I mean, I don't know how you guys handle Thanksgiving dinners because you're apart from them on some political views, much more conservative. You were for Donald Trump, and of course, you were one of the early backers of Donald Trump, Black Voices for Trump. And I'm sure that's caused some friction within your family, but you all seem to, you know, forget that and let bygones be bygones, certainly on days like this, certainly on the holidays. And I never see any public bad-mouthing among you. In other words, I don't see any Prince Harry or Meghan stuff going on. And I always wondered how you pull that off.
We genuinely love, forgive each other, love each other. We get along. I'm on the board of the Martin Luther King Center, and I work with Bernice very closely. My daughter works with the Martin Luther King Center as a life coach, counselor. She and my mom are at the event in Atlanta right now. I'm at Anderson University, a day of service, mentoring and talking to the students, and I was able to encourage so many of the students today. So we live a life of love and service, forgiveness. They do ask me, how in the world can you support Donald Trump? And I asked them about President Biden. President Biden gives great speeches. You know, they sound lovely, but I feel like he plays opposites. You know, when I was little, you said one thing and did another. So I do feel like President Biden may play a little opposites.
All right. Playing opposites or not, there's no one who doesn't meet you and isn't impressed with you. And even if they disagree with you, they're enthralled by you. And I can see why. After all these years, Alveda King, so good seeing you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.